Coming up on Kochie's Business Builders, the sisters whose beautiful bouquets taste as good as they look. Plus, 2023's top marketing trends you need to know about. G'day and welcome to another episode of Kochie's Business Builders, where we look at the issues facing small business owners and come up with practical advice and tips to help them succeed. Joining me today as co-host is Mike Halligan. Mike's a serial entrepreneur whose past startups include an e-commerce agency, online store guys, and an award-winning mobile health app, Bodywise. His latest venture is Scratch, an Aussie startup that makes and delivers fresh and healthy dry food for dogs. Mike, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time. Where do you come up with all your ideas? How do they start?
Often find, boring categories that haven't had any innovation for a while. So supermarket, big box retailers, things that really it's the same thing we were buying 10 years ago and often ignored. Because I think a lot of the businesses I was inspired by, like Bellroy or Who Gives a Crap, they're taking just like boring old things that we always took for granted and putting them with like a new spin, whether it's branding, the product, or even the distribution.
There's no shortage of ideas. Everyone has an idea, but taking the next step, road testing it, finding out whether it has traction, how do you do that successfully?
I know people who've put fake Facebook ads leading to a fake website just to see if people will click in it and then people will click the buy button. Because if they're actually giving you their intention to buy, that when you actually have a real product, it's going to be a lot easier to sell. Or even going out if you're a service business, getting on the phone, getting in front of people and actually trying to sell them what you've got.
So almost pretending it's up and going, that you've got a product. Years ago, I came across a newsletter publisher who would do a big advertisement for a newsletter, and if it got response, he'd go, okay, I better start producing it now and explain, the feedback has been so great, it's going to take a little time to come out. If he got no response, he just ditched the idea. It's almost like that.
Yeah, genius. And then, if you're not getting much of a response, you note the objections and you build that into your product.
Okay. Now, I'm keen to have your thoughts on our next small business case study. Husband and wife team, Matt and Kate Redman, are the proud owners of RBI Australia, a baseball and softball business that combines a sporting goods store with state-of-the-art batting cages. With floods, fires and pandemic to deal with, the business has been up and down for the past couple of years. But now that the dust has settled and it's business as usual, the couple need advice to help them streamline processes and prepare to scale. So, Mike, how important is it to get your processes right at this stage of the business life?
Oh, it's so vital because otherwise you just end up working in the business. You essentially, you've put all this hard work and risk in to just get yourself another job. So being able to understand the core of what makes something work and then put that into a process. So when you hire someone, there's a playbook to follow. And then they hire someone, there's a playbook to follow. And in the meantime, you're working in other parts of the business where you can add value to.
So is that what you've done with Scratch? You're telling me you hired your 12th employee today. So getting the process right from the very beginning is a really key feature of you building a business.
Yeah, absolutely. You work out how to put your own spin on things as well, so that every part that a customer feels about your business, that's a design part of an experience, so that if they shop somewhere else, they're missing out. They've got something completely different that feels different. It makes it harder to move on from your company because what you've got is unique.
So, Mike, in terms of processes, what are the most important to get done first?
Most important ones are generally around how people can make decisions without having to come to you for everything, because otherwise you're going to be so overwhelmed.
All right, Mike, thanks for that. We'll catch up with Mike again later in the show. But first, we'll pop in on the team at RBI Australia. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we sent small business expert Andrew Griffiths to pay a visit to Matt and Kate to iron out some challenges they face in growing and marketing their business. Now Andrew's back to see whether they've adopted some time-saving strategies.
G'day, Matt. How you doing?
Hey, good, Andrew. Good to see you again.
Great to see you again, and it's been a few weeks since we caught up. What's been happening over the last 6 weeks since I've seen you?
Oh, well, a lot's been happening. It's been our busiest period of the year, just coming into the summer baseball and softball season. It's been busy, but we've been doing our best to get around what you've been suggesting as well.
So what resonated with you last time we spoke?
One of the big things I think was is we've been thinking about how you said we need to have more of our personal brand involved in the business and on our social media posts and things like that. What we've worked on is we've worked on a social media calendar so that we can now, of course we're a little bit time poor at the moment, especially in this busy period of the year. We've planned it out so that I know exactly what I'm going to advertise each day, and that way I can just put some time aside once a week or once a couple of weeks to make a few videos and a bit of content in able to post them daily.
What kind of thoughts have you had or actions have you taken to try and get your head around managing your cash flow perhaps a little bit more proactively now?
We're trying to just think about where we spend our money at the moment a little bit better. Also, how we put on our employees, what kind of employment contracts we have. You know, maybe moving more towards some full-time employees rather than all casuals, and see what we can do that way in order to smooth the wage bill out over the year, rather than getting hit so hard in our busy period.
What kind of things do you think you could be adopting from a time management productivity point of view now that will kind of set you up a little bit more for the off-season?
Well, we're working hard on getting SOPs written for all of our processes and systems. And improving our systems at the same time as we do that. So we're reviewing them, documenting them, and just enhancing them as we go along. That will help us in the future be able to say, here's your job. Okay?
It takes time now, but it saves you time.
That's
down
right.
the line,
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
It's huge amounts of time, but it's going to pay off in the long run.
So we've covered a bit of ground. Let's have a bit of a talk now about some of the marketing strategies that you want to be adopting over this busy period of time when you haven't got a lot of time, but we still need to be doing things to proactively build the business. What do you reckon?
Yeah, sounds
All
awesome.
right, let's go.
Do you know Kochie's Business Builders has a website? It's a great place to find all the latest business, news, advice and tips to succeed. Check it out now at kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au and get your fix of small business inspiration. According to research by CMO Australia, 2023 will be the year marketers have to do more with less as budgets are squeezed from ongoing inflation and cost of living cuts. So how can businesses get cut through from their marketing budget when their advertising spend is reduced? CMO says it's time to double down on personalisation, creator-led content, data and privacy, and brand trust. So Mike, you've got a background in marketing. What's your take on this?
I don't know how much of that actually relates to small business. I think things like data and personalisation are really quite expensive, hard to do things. And a lot of making the most of marketing this year is probably about narrowing our sights a little bit shorter. So things that are going to move the needle or create a sale in the next 2 quarters for us.
Okay, what about creator content? Getting your customers to provide your content. Is that a good way of marketing without costing the earth?
Yeah, it's an absolute dream. When we started Scratch, majority of our early marketing was people jumping on Instagram, sharing photos of their dog with our packaging right there because they were proud to express themselves and their love for their dog through our products. So it probably halved our marketing budget early on.
Wow. So do you come up with competitions to send in the best content? Is that how you generate it amongst customers?
Yeah, and then really amplifying their voices. If you've got customers who do something really good, showcasing that to show other people. If you put in the work, you'll get exposure and you'll get reward as well.
Mike, thank you for that. Great advice. Now stay tuned. Paul Presland, General Manager of Small Business at ANZ, has some great insights around sharpening up your business finances.
Should you separate your personal and business finances? Hi, I'm Paul Presland from ANZ and I'm here to help answer this question that so many small business owners ask. especially when starting out. Separating your personal and business finances can save you time, help you feel in control with a clear view of your business financial position, and help prevent dipping into personal savings and remain organised. Tracking your business income and expenses separately will make it easier when it comes to tax time. No need to wade through personal finances trying to identify business income and expenses. Easy to interpret, report and file tax documents, freeing up time to do the most important thing for you to run your business. Maximising your tax deductions as a business owner might be a priority for you. And when business expenses are run through one dedicated business account, you can easily find tax deductions in one place, reduce the risk of overlooking deductible expenses. Dipping into your personal savings to fund a business could put your household finances at risk. All businesses have ups and downs. Dipping into your personal savings could impact your ability to pay for life's necessities. Spend less time untangling your finances with a dedicated business transaction account. Head to anz.com/financially ready to find out more.
Are you ready to get back to business? Well, Kochie's Business Builders has all the expert advice you need to set your business up for success in 2023. From marketing to finance to growing your business. If you've got questions, we've got answers. So head to kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au to subscribe to our newsletter and stay up to date with all the latest small business trends you need to know to succeed. Are you a regional business? We want to celebrate your passion, your resilience, and the enormous contributions you make to your local communities. Kochie's Business Builders and Square have come together for Regional Heroes, a competition that showcases the achievements of outstanding businesses far away from the big smoke. For a chance to win more than $40,000 worth of media and social coverage, nominate your business or a business you love at kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au/regional heroes.
Hi, I'm Abby. Hi, I'm Kelly, and we're the founders of Edible Blooms. Well, if you asked our mother, she has rose-coloured lenses of us growing up, and she would say that as sisters we never fought growing up. But I think she tells my children that now so they stop fighting. But we actually have always got along really well, and we're very different. So Abs and I have got very different strengths and things that we love.
That's what makes it work so well.
Yeah, it does. Edible Blooms is your world of gifts. So we started with our signature product, which is bouquets you can eat. So we started with beautiful fresh fruit bouquets, but they're really just boxes of joy. We also do our hamper range, and we've also expanded internationally.
We first started our entrepreneur journey when we were about 10 years old. So back then, we used to make melting moment biscuits for the local cafe in the small country town that we were from. And we would sell them, and that would be our pocket money. But out of that, Mum actually used to deduct the cost that it made, like to make the biscuits out of that. So we learned from a very early age how to run our own little business.
It's a pretty agile work environment, and I have to say that's what makes it interesting, and that probably is the reason why we're still running Edible Blooms and loving it 17 years after starting it back in 2005. One of the things as a business owner is the more that you can automate processes, the more that you can streamline things in your business. It saves you time and you can spend more time doing the things you need to do. Our new website has got a feature, it's called Instant Gift. So when you're choosing the gift you want to send somebody, you can either do the traditional e-commerce checkout where you type in their address and the delivery date and we send the gift, or you can choose Instant Gift, and all you need to send that gift is their email and their phone number, and we do the rest. So it takes all the hassle out of sending a gift and doing those just because amazing, beautiful moments. It makes sending a gift so easy. In today's environment, we need to make it as easy as we can for our customers to send joy. Running a business is hard work. You know, you work really long hours. You can only do that if you love and you're passionate about what you do. And I think when we started Edible Blooms, we thought it would be birthdays and anniversaries and babies arriving and all of those things. And I think the thing that's given us the most joy are where we're connecting to people, and it's literally a just because. That's the thing that I have loved the most.
Yeah, and I think also when we've been through such a hard time in COVID where families couldn't see each other, and it helped connect people during that really hard time that we had.
One of the things I think we're really proud of is the fact that we have grown a really recognised brand, particularly in the Australian market. We're still relatively new in New Zealand and the UK as well. We're always changing for our customers. And I think a brand needs to keep evolving over the years. Edible Bloom started as this little idea to spread joy in a really creative way, and it's really grown to be something that we're super proud of, and sometimes we pinch ourselves and think, how are we doing this?
I know.
So we really consider ourselves to be super lucky.
Now, earlier in this episode, business expert Andrew Griffiths paid a visit to Matt at RBI Australia to check how they've gone with implementing a new social media strategy. Now, Andrew's back for some final advice for RBI moving forward.
Matt, we've spoken about what you've done in the last 6 weeks. What else can I help you with? What other things would you like some advice on today?
Well, you've given us great advice on our free sort of marketing and social media approach. But if we were going to invest some money into some marketing, what would be the best way to go about that?
Yeah, great question. And marketing's a complex one, isn't it? You know, there's so many different areas, lots of ways you can lose money. First thing I would do, I would look at doing a little bit of older school stuff. And I would look at developing some promotional materials to put in your packaging. When you're shipping things, that's a great opportunity to sell your business to customers who are getting it. Direct people back to the website, any special offers, things like that. Really, really effective way of marketing.
So what kind of content should we be focusing on to make us more visible?
At the moment, a lot of our content is simply product-based, but what I want to see is I want to see more of you. You know, how-to videos, advice, everything from, you know, what to eat before the game, right through to how to recover after the game, how to keep your kids involved. As a professional, how to avoid injury. And I believe absolutely that that's your greatest marketing opportunity, is that really diverse kind of videos and engagement in that space across those areas.
So to better manage our time, is there any tools you can recommend to automate some of our tasks?
There are so many apps and so many platforms and all the rest of it. Maybe we need 2 or 3 really solid apps, but we take the time to learn how to use them. So my advice is, rather than even specific app that's going to really be the management tool, whatever you decide to use, start with a problem, like it might be time management, figure out an app to use and maybe talk to other business owners, etc. Go online, you'll find some reviews, and then say, okay, well, I'm going to learn how to use it properly. Because research shows that the average business owner only uses 9% of the technical capacity of all of their tech. Use fewer apps, but really get to know them well, and start by choosing ones that are going to solve problems like time management, account, customer communication, you know, things like that. You're really well on the right path. You're building a great brand, you're proactive, you're asking great questions, you're constantly trying to make your business better. All of those things all roll together, and to me, you know, give you 2 thumbs up for heading in the right direction anyway, Matt.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your help and your advice. It's been invaluable, and thank you to Softball New South Wales for letting us tour their fantastic facility.
I know, it's a nice venue, isn't it?
It is, it's beautiful.
Mike, Andrew makes a really good point, doesn't he? That we get so hung up on digital, we forget about the more traditional brand collateral that we can package together when we ship products out.
For sure. I mean, that stuff's kind of, it's popular for a reason. It all works, and it all goes hand in hand as well. So by the time you put the email out or the ad out, if someone's seen you by other means, it all makes them more comfortable to buy.
So, Mike, what other marketing things can RBI do, do you reckon?
I love that idea about flyers in the box. I would really promote social content while they're there. I mean, they've got a lot of customers who are really experiencing the sport. They love the sport. It's a unique place to shop from, and promoting, sharing that experience while they're shopping or while they're in the cages.
Yep. And the good, the bad, and the ugly too, isn't it? All the bloopers of people in the batting cage, that can be quite fun as well.
Yeah, that'll make the best content.
Yeah, exactly. Mike, thank you for spending the time with us today. Really appreciate it. Good luck with Scratch.
Thanks, Kochie.
Thanks again for you for joining us as well today. And remember, if you're looking for small business tips or the latest news and expert advice, then you can find them all online at kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au or follow Kochie's Biz on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta and Twitter. And I'll catch you next time. Next week on Kochie's Business Builders, time management tips from a productivity expert. MKR favourite Manu drops by with some business advice, plus marketing lessons for a pub trying to win over the local community.